So today we're playing Ocean Outlast. It's a mod on CurseForge or something like that. I was like, you know what? Let's test out some more mods because Minecraft has a lot to offer when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I have no clue on what I'm doing, but it looked kind of cool. And I'm seeing some random birds flying, bats maybe, I don't even know what they are. But whilst we play that, we'll be talking about Insomnia and I guess the potential fixes for it. Again, I'm not a scientist, and I have to say, disclaimer, this is just for entertainment, just because of the fact that I'm not a scientist, not qualified to say this. But I think a lot of people, when they talk about Insomnia and things like that, they always go for the simplistic manner of things like diet, exercise, and those kind of things when it comes to Insomnia. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. Again, I'm not someone that likes to complicate life too much, because I think when you start to complicate it, it gets a bit too complicated in simple form, because it just allows you to think too much. And oftentimes a lot of the solutions in our lives are pretty simple ones. You know, for the most part, to become healthier, you just have to become healthier. And that means eating right, sleeping right, and getting your fundamentals right. But I think Insomnia goes deeper than that, because there's a lot of emotional there's a big emotional aspect to it. For example, you've got how satisfied you are for the day, how tired you are you under caffeine. There's like a lot of different factors that go under sleep, and it's a lot easier just to say, let's just sleep earlier, because you're gonna have to put yourself in a routine of that, and that's pretty hard to do, especially in today's age, because we're so overstimulated from media, from life, and from the devices we carry around all day long, aka our phones. And if we look at people who get the best sleep, for example, or at least who do we think gets the best sleep in the world? I would probably say manual labor workers, because they are so exhausted and they've put in a really hard shift, and they've basically put in a maximum amount of effort. And I think that's pretty true, because it leads to them being satisfied with their day, and then they can have a nice night of rest. But a lot of us aren't like that, right? We're not exactly all manual laborers, but I think we can take a thing or two from that. And I'm not sure what this mob is, so I'm just gonna quickly kill him and then move on. It's a bound soul. Okay, interesting. And he's pretty tough to defeat, I'm not gonna lie. Got too much health. And he just doesn't die. You can probably just hear me spamming my mouse. But yeah, he just doesn't die. Damn. It looks like it's not rendering correctly, but that's fine. Obsidian template. Tombstone. Interesting. So it's a treasure. I'm guessing we can sell things in this game and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're facing Insomnia, right, it's typically because the world is so silent, and the silence is so loud, and you're just there in the dark with your thoughts. And because we typically, throughout the day, we have a lot of light, we have a lot of, even in the nighttime, we have our lights on and things like that. We're not really surrounded by the darkness and our sort of thoughts and solitude entirely. And so as a result, it's going to be a shock to your body, because your body's not really used to it. They're not really used to being in the dark and things like that, right? Which makes total sense. And from there, you're going to obviously get things like maybe anxiety at night, maybe depression. Maybe at night you might grieve a little bit. You might just think, wow, is this even real life? Number one, for the real life thing, if life doesn't feel real sometimes, typically it's because we've been so used to escapism in the form of our phone or even gaming, because you're basically absorbed into a screen where you're completely into it. You're not into real life, so that when you kind of come out of it, you're just thinking, wow, this is what life is. So you're not used to it. So there's going to be a little bit of that there as well. But I think when you sort of face Insomnia and stuff like that, it's more of your true self kind of coming out in a sense, because, oh no, okay, we're not doing that. Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, we're gonna die here. That's not good news. That's not good for business. I can't even get out. Oh no, this isn't good. There we go. Not good so far. I think let's just do an exploration episode today. But typically when you're in these kind of positions where you're at night and you're just thinking a lot, it's probably because you haven't done that for so long, and the nighttime is the only time where you get to face that. It's just kind of sad, because we tend to sort of get into a state of suffering when we're thinking about life like that. Mainly because it's more of a thing of, because you've bottled up just hiding yourself away from the world and your thoughts and spending time with yourself, it all kind of unleashes in one point where you kind of get upset and then you start to face insomnia. And that's more so for the people that face insomnia in the sense of they have it because they get anxiety at night. And that's completely normal. Number one, by the way, you're definitely not alone when it comes to that stuff. So don't feel bad for having it. It's just more of a thing of just realize, where is it really coming from? Because it's going to probably come from the fact that you haven't spent enough time yet and you're not entirely satisfied with your life. And if anything, you should be grateful for it, because without having those kind of emotions where you're going to be kind of scared in a way, and again, not feeling down, it gives you that kind of push to change it. And sometimes feeling uncomfortable in those kind of states of mind, it teaches us to change things. The same way our body kind of gets rid of toxins in your body by giving you things like acne and sort of painful responses when you've done something wrong. I'd say the same goes for insomnia, because you're not entirely satisfied with your life, and so your body is like, you know what, we're not going to let you sleep very well today because something isn't right. You're not in flow state, you're not living the life that you truly want to, and we're going to give you the opportunity to fix this through pain. So every kind of painful moment in your life, typically there's always going to be something that you can learn from it or something like that. And that's the beauty of life. So fundamentally, you're going to want to work on your satisfaction in life. Are you doing everything you can every day to work on your dreams and your goals and your aspirations and who you want to become? Because if you do, you can actually sit back and you can actually relax with no thoughts. And if you actually look back in your life for the times that you've been the most satisfied, note how good the sleep was. Or maybe you've had like a long, hard, vigorous day of exercise, and just look at how good the sleep was. Because you're using all of the energy that's given to you when you wake up every single day. You're pretty much just maximizing what you can do in your life. And when you don't do it, you tend to think, oh man, I have so much energy and I've just wasted it on so and so. Another reason for insomnia, I'd probably say, is not feeling whole. You're not comfortable with where your life is at, and sometimes these insecurities can kind of build up into yourself, and then you don't really sleep very well just because of the fact that you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable in your own skin. And again, the darkness kind of reveals that, right? When you're at night and you're trying to sleep and you can't sleep. And it's kind of scary because, again, it reveals so much to you about yourself that you don't really think is pretty normal, but it's completely normal for your body to do that. And the thing is, you can have tried all these different methods of fixing your sleep and insomnia by these blue light glasses, not using your phone 1 hour before bed, eating healthier, exercising more. And these things definitely help, right? They definitely do. I'm not saying that they don't, but I feel like the emotional aspect of sleep is more important than anything else. Because if you're feeling comfortable with yourself at every given moment, why would you not, like, you're going to trust yourself. And when you have that trust, you're going to trust yourself to fall asleep, to be in the unconscious mind rather than the conscious mind. And you'll realize that maybe you had better sleep when you were a kid, and that's because you trusted yourself then, which means that you were more whole with yourself, you trusted yourself more, you respected yourself more, you're maybe more confident in yourself. So these are like root issues that you're going to have to target before fixing insomnia directly like that. And I think a lot of the issues we do face in life typically is a result of us not having, and we died, nice, not having enough self-esteem, not having enough self-confidence. What on earth is that? Oh my gosh, this is a scary mod pack. Why are they so fast? Alright, let's get out of here. Because when you don't have enough self-esteem, self-confidence, you don't think you're good enough. And then if you don't think you're good enough, how are you even going to adopt healthy habits and healthy practices that's going to benefit your life? You might do to a certain degree, but it's not going to be very genuine. And when you start to make genuine changes in your life, that's when your entire life changes. You start to do things that you enjoy. You start to actually enjoy life and actually make the most out of your talents, what you're good at. And yeah, it just gets better and better from that point. But obviously we live in a world where that's so hard to achieve, especially nowadays with the whole comparison through social media and just looking at other people's lives and not spending enough time with ourselves. These things are going to happen. And I mean, if you are someone that regularly struggles with insomnia and even all of these routines still don't work, let's try and get your emotional state in check. What are you doing that can really help benefit that? And again, the underlying root causes of that from your mind's perspective. Because once you're in sync with your mind and your body, then you can get a good night's sleep. Because for example, even if you ask a lot of other people when they have insomnia and things like that, typically they'll say it's because they worry. They worry a lot. And where does that come from? Insecurity. And what is insecurity? The feeling of lack. And I say lack meaning there's not enough. You're not whole. You're like 0.5. You're not entirely 1. But the goal is to be 1. And to achieve that, I'll probably make a few other videos talking about becoming whole and increasing your self-esteem. But some quick pointers on that would be probably to be more grateful of what you have, to kind of detach yourself from, again, technology for a little bit, from different apps where you might be comparing yourself, and asking yourself, what do you truly want out of life? Do you want peace or do you want problems? And what does it take for you to achieve peace? Because typically it will just be all in your mind, and that's literally the key solution. But if you have insomnia because of just other reasons, like again, maybe you eat really late at night, maybe you have coffee pretty late, or you maybe take multiple naps during the day, yeah, then that's a completely different issue. But we're not really talking about that today. We're talking about, again, the emotional aspect of it. And even then, having a good night's sleep would, or at least fixing your emotional health, would probably fix those issues as well, potentially. So take what you will from this. Again, there's probably so much that I missed out on, but I got too distracted by the mod pack, I'm not gonna lie. So spend some more time with yourself, build some more self-awareness, figure out where is the insomnia coming from. Is it coming from worry? Is it coming from the fact that you feel like you're not gonna have enough? Is it maybe anxieties about the future? Is it maybe anxieties about the past? Either way, you're in bed tonight, right? And you're just there, right here, right now, as you're watching this video. Nothing else matters. So be okay with yourself. Be okay with you messing up in life sometimes. Be okay with you doing good in life sometimes. It's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be like a spiral where you just kind of go from different scenarios to different scenarios. What really matters is how you handle it emotionally and how you handle it mentally. And those two do interlink, they do intertwine, where you have to build the skills within yourself. So I suggest for the people that don't do that, maybe start journaling, maybe start listening to music that helps you connect to yourself. Just any kind of way that connects with yourself. For some people it's exercise, for some people it's walking, for some people it's maybe meditating, for other people it could be even as simple as doing something that's a pretty mindless activity, like even playing some games without music or anything like that, and you just think. There's so many ways to go about it, but ultimately figure out why you have insomnia and figure out what is the real cause of that. And it's going to be a very uncomfortable task, but what's going to be more uncomfortable, having insomnia for the rest of your life, or actually fixing your problems that will fix pretty much most of your other problems? Because insomnia is just going to be one of the side results to whatever you're dealing with in your life. For example, if it is anxiety, that's probably going to affect your day-to-day life as well, not just your sleep. So insomnia is just one piece of the puzzle, but ultimately it comes from just that one sort of factor of, again, worry and anxiety. So yeah, let me know if you want to hear more about fixing those kind of things. Again, I'm just a dude on the internet, so take what you will from this with a grain of salt. But I hope I've shifted your awareness a little bit on terms of your thinking about your emotional state and your mental state and how you are going to bed as well. I'll say that as my last point, because when you go to bed at night, I'm pretty sure like your subconscious is like extra receptive, and when you wake up in the morning. So what is your self-talk looking like when you're in those kind of states of mind before you sleep? Are you in a more positive state of mind? Are you in a more negative state of mind? And again, where does this come from? Insecurity. So figure out what it is, try and figure out a way to become whole, and you'll be good from there. Very, very simple in theory, very, very hard in practice. But in any way that you can, even if it's 1% that you figure out more stuff about yourself and your insomnia, you're 1% better already. So don't take it too harshly, be gentle with yourself, and try and figure yourself out more. That's the key. Genuinely, that's the key. That's what I got a key in my hand. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace and blessings to you all.